The Jewish Channel's Week in Review. It's a denouement for the Charles Freeman controversy, but what does this episode mean for Israel's future? Pope Benedict apologizes for the Holocaust-denying bishop. The holiday of Purim means cameos from Comedy Central celebrities. And one art collection reclaimed from the Nazis is available for viewing. Hello, and welcome to the Jewish Channel's Week in Review. I'm Stephen I. Weiss. The sudden withdrawal of Charles Freeman from an appointment in the Obama administration to chair the National Intelligence Council brings to an end the first battle over Israel policy since Obama took office. Clearly in this fight, those on the right of the Israeli-Palestinian issue have emerged victorious. However, the Freeman affair clearly signals a realignment over Israel policy in the United States. Leaders from many Jewish institutions were protesting Freeman even before he was officially appointed, and many others joined in afterward, along with New York Democratic Senator Charles Schumer, Democratic Congressman Steve Israel, and at least 10 Republican members of Congress. But there were cracks in this wall of pro-Israel opposition. Most prominently, M.J. Rosenberg of the Israel Policy Forum made his views known on the well-read liberal political blog Talking Points Memo. And Stephen Walt, famous for his book The Israel Lobby, co-authored with John Mearsheimer, was predictably pro-Freeman. The difference this time around was that thinkers like Walt, who was almost universally derided in the American Jewish community when his book came out a couple years ago, were being viewed very much as mainstream thinkers of the Jewish and American left. The standard bearers of the Jewish left on Israel, like the Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg, formerly of The New Yorker, suddenly found themselves characterized as right-wing neoconservatives, indicating that the political ground has very much shifted. Perhaps nothing better crystallizes this reality of a new world for American foreign policy towards Israel than the statement Freeman provided with his resignation. He uses those famous words, the Israel Lobby, and declares its tactics, quote, plumb the depths of dishonor and indecency. His statement that presumably targets groups like AIPAC would have been seen as clearly out of bounds, and some in the mainstream might even have characterized it as anti-Semitic just a few years ago. But after what might be the most contentious nomination over issues of ideology since Robert Bork's nomination to the Supreme Court in 1987, the one very clear result of the Freeman nomination is that discussion about Israel has seen a fundamental shift in America's halls of power. In related news, the former AIPAC foreign policy executive indicted for espionage has filed the lawsuit against AIPAC alleging defamation, in the same week that the Washington Post's editorial page called on the Justice Department to drop the charges against Steve Rosen and former colleague Keith Weissman. In lighter news, comedy big shots turned out this week to celebrate the holiday of Purim. Margie Rauhat reports.
Adding a professional touch to a folksy Purim tradition, some of New York's finest comedy writers and actors put on one hell of a Purim shpiel this week at 92Y Tribeca, including The Daily Show's comic reporters John Oliver and Wyatt Cenac. The shpiel is the brainchild of Emmy Award-winning comedy writer Rob Kutner, the creator of the Shushan channel, which has been putting on hilarious Purim shpiels for 7 straight years.
We do kind of a mashup of popular culture and the Megillat.
Spoofing popular television shows like Mad Men and The Office, the Purim shpiel is so funny even non-Jewish actors are excited to take part.
I was raised Catholic. I had no idea of Purim. And they're like, you're playing a Hashvarosh.
I didn't even know that Haman and Graga, that all of that existed. So I got all the history, and the writers here, Rob Kutner and all the guys from The Daily Show, are just really funny.
Over the years, the Purim shpiel has gotten a tad more sophisticated.
Well, we don't perform in a temple basement anymore, and now we learn our lines a little better than we used to.
But it's still all about reveling in what comedian Seth Herzog considers Judaism's most enjoyable holiday.
If you're ever like, damn, why did God make me a Jew? Remember that Purim is a holiday where you are required to get drunk, dress up in a costume, put on a show, and just let nature take its course. What other religion mandates that? None.
Thank you, Margie. An art collection looted by Nazis has finally returned to Jewish hands and is available for viewing. Christian Needon has the story.
With works by Bernardino Buonanni, Jan Josef van Goyen, and other rarely seen masters of painting, it's an art collection that is notable in its own right. But what makes this collection especially rare is that these masterpieces were nearly lost forever to looting by the Nazis during World War II. Now, almost 70 years later, a portion of those recently recovered works are on display at New York's Jewish Museum, due to the efforts of the now-deceased original owner, Jacques Goldsticker's only living heirs, his daughter-in-law and granddaughter.
I just feel like a lot of people think of this restitution and its monetary value, and I think they forget what it's really about. And for me, it's about my grandparents. The paintings are exquisite, but it's about what belonged to my family.
Goldsticker was a notable art collector and dealer in pre-war Netherlands, but his collection was decimated when the Nazis looted 1,200 of his paintings. The paintings on display at the Jewish Museum represent a small cache of just 200 of those paintings, which were restituted after a decades-long, hard-fought legal battle. The remaining 1,000 paintings have not yet been recovered, and there are times when Marie von Stroom almost gave up.
I sometimes had my doubts. My daughter Charlene sort of said, "Mom, this, let's hang in there, let's stick it through."
And for Lawrence Kay, the lead attorney on the Goldsticker requisition case, this success has personal significance.
As a Jew, obviously, developments like this are very important to me, and they're emotional. As a lawyer, I look at it from the viewpoint of being able to do something through the rule of law that assists the victims of past crimes, and that's a good feeling as well.
And for Marie von Stroom, who is not Jewish, the fight continues for the remaining 1,000 paintings.
It will be, for many, many years, an ongoing story, and some pictures maybe we will find, some we might never find, but we still have a mission. We're not done yet.
Finally, in related news, Pope Benedict XVI says he regrets reinstating a Holocaust-denying bishop. After more than a month of uproar over the reinstatement of Bishop Richard Williamson, the Pope issued a letter to the world's bishops calling Williamson's reinstatement an unforeseen mishap that occurred because he didn't know of Williamson's Holocaust revisionism, something that the Pope writes could have been cured by better consulting the internet. The Pope also thanks, quote, our Jewish friends who quickly helped to clear up the misunderstanding and to restore the atmosphere of friendship and trust between Catholics and Jews. That's all for this week. For more news and analysis from the Jewish Channel, please visit newsdesk.tjctv.com. From all of us here at the Jewish Channel, be well. The Jewish Channel is available on cable, IO Optimum Cable Channel 291, Time Warner Cable Channel 528, and Verizon Fios Channel 900. For more information, visit tjctv.com.